Greetings, my friends! My name is Aiden, and welcome back to the realm of Arcanis, where we did a few things last video, such as adding this banner that we mysteriously found in our inventory at the end, which was weird, and also just randomly applied to our shield somehow. I looked a few things up, and I don't know why that happened. It doesn't seem like that's a bug in the game, so I'm not sure. Maybe some outside force, who knows. But on to whatever else we did, which was we built this nice, large storage hall, which contains all our items. And I still have a lot of categories to fill in with this place. If you didn't notice, we have these two nice new homes for our cartographers and our fletchers that we built. We maxed out our trident and our mace, which is in my house. I know it doesn't seem like we did much, but hey, something's better than nothing, right? And currently I have no food, so just let me get some of that quickly. Okay, that should be good. Well, hello there. I assume you're the first cat to spawn over here, which is nice. That's cute. You're pretty cute. Hey, well, run along, little fella. Sorry, I got distracted by the cake cat. But yes, we do have a lot of plans involving this next stage, which while we didn't do a lot last video, we will be doing a lot in this one. Let me show you. So yes, we have this large-scaled plains area. And to show you how large it is, let's go into a camera view. And boop! Voila! Isn't that nice? So if it isn't evidently clear, we don't have much going on in this plains biome. It's very dark, it's very empty. The only builds we currently possess here are our animal farm and our ugly windmill. But I intend to use this area for a very much useful purpose, specifically on the side of farming. As you know, we've had this farm for our main source of crops and resources involving food for a while. Also, can you go away, zombie? I'm trying to talk here. And while this place has served us well, it hasn't served us enough. And every great kingdom definitely needs a good source of agriculture, wouldn't you agree? So, simply put, I want to cultivate this land and turn it into a large farming area. It'll contain both crop farms as well as crop-related buildings. I also want to update the designs for our animal farm and our windmill, specifically the windmill, because this thing is still not pretty, not very presenting at all. The animal farm looks nice, but I think we need to change the location of the pens, to be honest. Oh, but Aiden, how can we farm without the proper utilization of tools? Because if you see, we have a sword, axe, pickaxe, second pickaxe, and a shovel, none of which are useful for farming. Okay, maybe the shovel is somewhat useful for, I guess, terraforming, but other than that, nothing else. Okay, maybe the pickaxe as well. But however, when it comes to the harvesting and planting of crops, to no one's surprise, we need to make a hoe. Not just any hoe, but a maxed out diamond hoe. Another thing I've noticed is that within the confines of the medieval times, every great leader has a valiant steed. And while we do have a lot going for us, a horse is something we've been lacking for a while, and I would very much like to acquire one. I've seen plenty around, but I haven't bothered them. Before I was so rudely interrupted, we have a saddle and some golden horse armor. No diamond, but I'm sure we'll find it at some point. We've seen a few horses around the plains biome, and I'm just gonna go look around for one that serves my needs. Or just one I feel a certain affection to. This guy's been here for a while, let's see how he works out. Alright. Oh, you are, yeah, you're not very fast. Sorry, but you won't serve my needs. What about you? You're stubborn, just like me. Yeah, you are very stubborn, but yeah, you're also not that fast. And while I think we could get along in the stubbornness department, I don't think we're gonna get along perfectly. Sorry, my friend, but you're just not the right candidate. But good attempt nonetheless. A good way to see how fast a horse is by simply giving him a little kick in the nards. What about you? You? Oh, this one looks promising. Sorry about the punch, just need to test your mettle. Yeah, this one seems to be a little stubborn. Pretty fast overall. You know what? I think you'll do. All right, my friend, come with me. Man, what a treacherous trip across that river, am I right? Oh yeah, me and you are gonna have a lot of fun together. You definitely run faster than I can, so I'll give you credit for that. But that's how most horses are, I guess. Just for safekeeping, I'll tie you right here. because I don't have a home for you, and I think that's what I should work on next. And I don't think this has to be broken down into a time lapse, so let's just get some materials and get to building. I think we could build it right here. Just create a small outline like so. Alright, looks like a good perimeter, but now I just gotta fill in the area around it. Let's add this and this. Then pop, pop, pop. A little misshapen, but it's no big deal. This decision might be a bit costly in the resources, but I want to actually give him a hay bed floor. I need more dirt. Said no one ever. A nice fence perimeter right here with some oak wood underneath. Another reason I think having a hoe will be useful, getting rid of leaves and whatnot. Add some wood right here. Make a roof perimeter out of these stone slabs. I need more. Yeah. I think I'm gonna need some birch wood, because why not? Make a few stairs while I'm at it. And a few slabs. Strip these away because it matches the house more. And some trapdoors to add on to the aesthetic. Let's build this up right there. Add some detailing to the walls. And I don't have enough. Of course I don't. Minecraft, when are you gonna add a sawmill? Just fill this in because I forgot about it. How many episodes has it been? Who keeps track of stuff like that? Definitely not me. Heck, I don't even remember when I got this apple. I could have gotten this last week for all I know. All right, now I just need some wool and concrete. BRB. All right, and we are back. I have all the materials required. I actually sorted out my inventory as well. So I guess we just go ahead and finish this now, shouldn't we, old friend? Well, I guess not old friend. I just met you, but you get the picture. Add some coarse dirt in here for some texturing reasons. Set up a nice hay bale for, well, I guess could be considered a bed. All right, well, looks good. Might change it later, but I think it's fine for now. I suppose we can continue this roofing area. All right, I think that looks good. Actually, I can add on to this a little bit. For now, you don't have to stay hooked in here anymore, pal. And voila! Completely concealed. Well, at least from the bottom. But yeah, you need a name, buddy. You do have a very dark complexion, and I don't want to go with the name Thunder. It's too simple. How about the name Callus? Yeah, I think that'll work for you. Do you agree? All right, let's get a name tag. There we go. Welcome home, Callus. Ah, perfect. But we can make it look better. Ah, don't that look nice? You agree, don't you? I don't know. Your face doesn't convey emotion most of the time, so it's hard to tell. But I suppose we should continue on with the agenda, should we not? Now, as to what I was saying, I mentioned that for farming we need hoes, and I want to make a perfectly max enchanted diamond one. Of course, we don't currently have the XP levels for such a task, and while I could grind my XP farm, there is a more profitable alternative. I need some glass. Just gathering up some sand. Listen, sand may be coarse, rough, and it gets everywhere, but it is useful for trades when you smelt it and turn it into glass panes. I will say gathering it can be a pain. Not a terrible one, though. Time to play the waiting game for the bazillionth time. And done! Oh, and you need help getting in, I assume. I'll break the glass for you. There you go. Can they really not figure out how to walk around a building? I don't mean to sound condescending, but like, they're pretty much Minecraft's equivalent to people, so like, shouldn't they be, you know, somewhat intelligent? I mean, they have the most advanced AI within the system. At least, I think they do. I'm not sure. What do I know? Well, I do have the XP level, so I guess while they're recuperating, I can just quickly go and enchant this for a little bit. Well, it does have unbreaking. Let's test it out. Okay, not what I was hoping for, but I can always go back. Ooh, that's not bad. More re-rolling. Well, I did want efficiency 4. All right, that looks good. Ooh, that's really good. I just need efficiency 4. Ask and you shall receive. Ask politely and you'll receive more. You know, that is a lot of emeralds. Like I said, profitable. Ooh, okay. However, we still need mending for this if we want it to be perfect. So let me run over to the village and let's get another mending book. Alright, so we just combine these two. I'll be right back. Nothing happened. Nobody saw a thing. You got it? I ask you politely to please keep your mouths shut. I definitely didn't break an anvil. You didn't see a thing. And because no anvil breaking process happened, I'm just going to add mending to this, and I'm going to enchant it into the Harvester of Altus. I wonder what the name Altus means. I guess it just came to me. Now, another problem I like to address is the lighting situation of my base. Currently, there is no lights on top of my house, or of the storage hall, or of a few of these buildings, actually. I feel as though that problem should be rectified. And that comes in the form of these redstone lamps. While traditionally I've never used them for lighting, I've more or less used torches, I think that they can serve well and just be a nice little decoration block for us to utilize. And while I would like them to serve their purpose at night, I want to have a cool aesthetic where they light up at night. In order to do that, I need a daylight sensor. And when I say a daylight sensor, I mean a lot. And I might need to get some more glass. And maybe some quartz. And yet again, we must smelt again. All right, there we go. Gotta make a few slabs. And boom. Now, hopefully, if I connect these right, that should be how it works. Yep. Now, let's just start placing these all over the roof. All right, yeah, and that looks pretty good overall. But it's practically the end of the day for me, so I'll continue with the next video tomorrow. So, whoop! Alrighty, it is the next day, and I suppose we should just continue on where we left off, should we not? As I said prior, I want to utilize this plains biome as our main farming district. I don't know if I said it in those exact same words, but I don't know. Hey, I have a terrible memory, what can I say? But I wanted to start with our animal farm, and as you can see, I let all of the sheep out of here because I was having trouble gathering wool, and with their little containment over there, it made it a bit difficult to get all the wool necessary for all the roofs for my buildings. I mean, hey, you think that much light blue wool is easy to acquire? No, it ain't. But I suppose we should not waste any more time and get right into the building process, so I'm going to have to probably move all the animals to another location for a bit before I actually do the interior for this place, as well as rebuild these little pens over here. But let's stop talking and start time-lapsing, shall we? Let's go! And overall, I said it before, I'll say it again, I think this looks pretty good. So the only part I wasn't able to complete were these hay bale sections, but that's not too big of a deal because I can probably do that off screen. So maybe in the next video you'll see that because I was busy using my hay bales for stuff like that. Obviously I had to move all the animals out of here. I'll probably move them back off screen again. So if you can tell from the time lapse, the reason this building process was so slow is because I actually didn't use a schematic for any of this. This was all built just from my own design and my own just on-the-spot personnel just image that I was making in my head. So some designs just are on the spot, like I said previously. The redstone lamps I thought would just be a nice touch. The path designs I know may be a little bit like weirdly textured, but it's just a style that I think a lot of people adopt. The interior doesn't have too much going on. Obviously we have the hayloft up here, but not much going on down here. I might add onto it again off screen. Details are important for design, you know? So there are a few farms I'd like to construct, and while this main area will be encompassed by a large amount of crop farms and whatnot, there are some different types that I would like to construct, specifically in the form of netherwort. We have been in desperate need of a netherwort farm because the fortress we first visited in episode 4 didn't have much to offer. And to be honest, I would very much like the ability to make more potions for future adventures that we go on. And I can't very well do that whilst holding little scraps of it. But regardless, I suppose we should just continue on with our building process, should we not? Alright, let's do it. Whoop. we are done, and despite its rectangular shape, I think it looks pretty good. It is still a bit empty on the interior, and I might as well place these down now. I think overall, it's going to serve its purpose very well. Oh, and if you haven't noticed already, I decided to spice up my attire a little bit because I thought it would be nice to get into the Christmas season, and what better than to dress up as a character from my favorite Christmas movie. But I suppose we should continue on, and despite the fact that I have a few ideas and plans, I am going to need to gather some materials, and while I could gather these materials off screen, it'd be nice to just do a little bit of recording and go around and grab them. One thing I've wanted for a while is bees, which we've seen a few hives around. We just haven't grabbed them because we don't want to disturb the bees. Also because we didn't really have the equipment to grab them right away. But now, of course, with this diamond axe, we do. So I suppose I'll just head to a few spots where we've seen bees before, and I'll just grab some hives. So see you there. Whoop! I might as well say it now. The reason I want to get bees is because I want honey, which we can use to wax copper, which we can use to include into some of our builds. And I'll just take this. Oh, here's another one. I'll just take that. Maybe we'll find some up there. Oh, yep, I see a few up there. Let's go grab them. Hey! Advancement. That's another. And then we'll just quickly grab this last one. Oh yeah, so the reason all these torches are here is because I was trying to find a good spot to map out where we might build our netherward farm. I was going to build it over here, but I thought it would make sense to build it closer, so I built it over there as opposed to right over here. Considering the structure is more industrial than it is farming, it just kind of made sense in my brain. Because we will be building a farm, I would like to have some farming villagers, and I do have one zombie villager currently in captivity. And yes, it was a villager that unfortunately did get turned back into a zombie villager because the zombie managed to find his way underneath the cave and he bit him to death. Well, not to death, but bit him into being undead again. We'll just keep skulking around until we can acquire one. Hi everyone, Editor Aiden here. Originally I was going to show the footage of me hunting down the zombie villagers. However, that footage would have been useless considering the fact that, as you'll see later in the video, while I did cure the zombie villagers and turn them all into farmers, they all unfortunately died, as you'll see right here. So I'm actually just going to cut the footage over to the next time-lapsing segment. I hope you guys understand. I will still show the intended footage of me finding what zombie villagers I did acquire whilst I was time-lapsing. But yeah, so you'll see later why me finding those zombie villagers and then curing them pretty much meant nothing. But we'll get to that later. For now, let's time-lapse. Whoop! So obviously at this point, I've already finished the stable, as you can see over there, and this is also in between the time lapses. Now, I've talked a lot of smack about this windmill, and I have come to the conclusion that I did need a new design for it, which I have made, that I think looks a lot nicer. To be honest, this windmill has annoyed me a lot with my inability to build, so I decided to use my gunpowder for something useful. Not just fireworks, but actual explosives. So, let's just watch the fireworks, shall we? That felt good. Alright, let's get to a new build, okay? Okay. And overall, I think these builds all look pretty good. So let's go through a little tour. The first thing you might notice is this small little tower. Now this, if you don't know, is what is called a farming silo. In real life, silos are used to store grain or other crops. So I thought, why not use this as a crop storage for the big farms we're going to have later? We obviously have this farmhouse, this is where our farming villagers are going to live. A nice but simple interior. A few beds, because I do want to have a lot of farmers for this. We obviously have this stable for if we get any more horses. We do have a few spots for them. I think at least 8, if I'm counting right. And I did show it earlier, but that explosion made way for this even better windmill design that I actually absolutely love. I mean, just look at this thing. It's bigger, it's taller, it's bulkier, it's way better. Get out of here, I'm trying to tour. No respect for tour guides. Ow, I'm on fire. Not much has changed about the underground. I still haven't updated that, but I will at some point. Maybe off screen, maybe not, who knows. I did also add this little section for bees because I did show me getting beehives, so I thought it just made sense to have these little bees, and that bee is spinning to win it. And of course, as you'll see right here, we have this nice little area connecting the builds, made of podzol, coarse dirt, gravel, as well as normal path blocks. And honestly, I think these look very nice overall. But I suppose now we should move on to the next task at hand, specifically involving our villagers. Now, of course, to shield them from the sun, I think it is appropriate that we give them these few iron helmets. However, I think just as a safety precaution, we should give them some fire resistance to make sure they don't completely spontaneously combust whilst in the heat of the sun. We'll wait for a second. Here we go. Add the magma cream. There we go. Some gunpowder. And there we go. I also may have found some gold while I was mining off screen, gathering resources for some of these builds. I, of course, need some golden apples. Grab this last weakness potion. Dig this out a bit wider. I'll chuck this at you guys. Make sure to break your boats, and you guys just follow me. Yep, just come along, fellas. Just come along. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. I'll just place these right here. Alright, they're all safely secure. Now all we gotta do is chuck this at them. Let's block this off so we're safe. And now we just wait. This is fun to watch. Alright, that's 1. And 2. And there's a 3rd. And there's a 4th. Hi, Editor Aiden again. So it was at this point that, yes, I had finally cured all those villagers. Unfortunately, as you'll see right here, the footage going forward shows that, well, let's just see. So, Minecraft mobs have an interesting thing where they will detect a trapdoor as a full block, and in some cases will walk over that block, and if there is a sort of pitfall, they will fall down and take fall damage. As you'll see here, the villagers fell down, and they all died to fall damage. So yeah, I guess we should just continue on with the video, alright? Let's go. I think that went pretty well, all things considered, so you guys just sit here for a second, and I'll be right back. Obviously, they're cured now, but to make them farmers, I want to make sure their trades are locked in. So let me just grab some crops quickly. Alright, that should be good. Okay, so you guys are eyeing these up. Alright, I'll trade 20 for you. I am going to give them some carrots to breed. I guess they have them all. Alright. Yeah, you guys sit tight. And to ensure that they stay safe whilst I'm building, I'm just going to block them in for temporarily. You know. Temporarily, not permanently. But I suppose we should not waste time, and let's get into the time lapse. So let's go. Whoop! But yeah, I think overall we made some good progress, and honestly, I think this place is gonna look very, very nice when it's fully completed. Which I might do off screen, because I've already spent way too long on this video, and I'm tired. I think I've made a lot of good progress, though. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? But yeah, I think this is where I'm going to conclude it, and like I said, might finish that off screen, maybe I'll finish it on a stream, who knows? Who really knows? Only time will tell. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to like, feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe. And until then, I'll see you all later. So, as I say, each and every day, lightning out.